Mm.
What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Chocolate Gumbo.
Hey.
We here. Another episode
Of the chocolate ones.
Yeah, this chocolate ones. You already know. Episode 18, right?
Yes.
18
We
of
are
it.
at 18, y'all.
Yep. We moving. It's always fun when we get up with the crew. You already know. For all the chocolate ones out there, make sure you pass the word about the Chocolate Gumbo podcast. We're doing this each and every Sunday. We dropping new episodes. So tell a friend, make sure you like, subscribe, share. And you know how we kick this off. We always ask y'all, how was your weekend? How was your weekend?
My weekend was great, man. Doing shows as usual. I spent a little time with my kids. So God bless you, everybody. Chocolate Gumbo, we here.
What's up, Kendra? How was your weekend?
Yeah, it was kind of subtle as well, but work. I worked the whole weekend. But on Sunday, I do have a little bit to share. On Sunday, one of my businesses that I just launched, Beauty Sips, mobile bartending, we had our first event.
Yeah.
And it was actually an extension to our beauty sips. We have added little beauty sips, so we do kids parties as well.
Y'all getting the babies drunk?
No, we're not getting them drunk, but we're getting them high off candy. No, not high though, but that sugar rush a little bit. But it's all good because that flavor, we decorate their little juicy drinks with candy, and the kids really loved it. I got some great reviews from over the weekend. Some of the parents was really excited to have us there, and we got more bookings from that, and also a few adult parties coming up. So stay tuned.
Come
Beauty
on, Kendra.
Sips. Let's go. How you spell that one more time?
Beauty, Beauty, Sips, SIP with a Z on the end, and mobile bartending. You can find us on Facebook and on Instagram at Beauty Sips Mobile Bartending.
Let's go.
Let's go.
What you got, RJ?
Man, you know what? The same thing, just the hustle and bustle. The
Same thing,
Same thing,
just pimping, just a little greasy out here. You understand me?
Just doing a little thing. I did the basement Saturday night. That was a little different. We always do beach basement brunch on Saturdays and all that good stuff. So I did the basement Saturday night. Sunday, I did do something Sunday. I did a national anthem for the Big Ten. You dig at the United Centers.
You did the national anthem at the
Nice.
United Center for the kickoff of March Madness?
Yeah.
That's
for the Big Ten.
crazy.
Hey, that's dope.
We did
Can I
that
get some
Sunday.
claps for that?
It's all right. We did that. So I did the national anthem a few times, like for the boys and stuff. But that was the first time I did that for like the college stage. So that's pretty cool. Shout out to Gold Coast All Stars.
Nice.
That's
You
one of the
stayed for
bands.
the game and the box and all that in the
I
booth?
couldn't stay because I had
shit.
some work to do. I had to go up to
Lord.
Tribe. I also have my own another brunch that's going on in Glenwood Oaks. So I had to just bounce around, do that, and then I had to do chemistry. And we back here. So just how the weekend go.
Chocolate
Yeah.
Gumbo.
Chocolate gumbo, man. We got some crazy topics, man. We got to talk about the current events, man. You know what? This is still currently black women's not black women's. I'm sorry.
Cut it
Women.
out. Stop it.
I'm sorry. Women. You gotta get it together. Women's History Month, right? So we're celebrating all the beautiful women all over the world.
Yes.
You are appreciated. You are loved. Are we doing any shout outs to the women?
What you got? What you got? Who you got? Every week you got to shout out one.
I gotta shout out one. Let me shout out
Mrs. Keita Mitchell. No, who this nigga think we is?
see
I ain't trying to get put out, Mrs. Mitchell. I'm not trying to do this from
You
the
know
back
what?
seat of his car.
I got no choice now. I was gonna shout you out, babe, but I was gonna say somebody. I was gonna shout a couple of people
Nope.
first, but I'm gonna just say you. This is all to you. Shout out to my beautiful wife, who's so hardworking,
Mhm.
she's so ambitious, and man, she's a dreamer, and she has my back 110%.
Mhm.
I could say, man, I want to fly to the moon, and she's like, let's go.
Let's go.
So, man, that's my rider. So, shout out to my beautiful wife, my queen.
Mhm.
So, this is Women's History Month, and we're just proud. I don't know, we just to have beautiful women around us just every day, man.
Mhm.
So, who
Yeah.
you want to shout out?
For me, I'm thinking about my little princesses, but they're not little anymore. My 23-year-old and my 28-year-old, my daughters, they are growing up to be beautiful young women. successful in their own right. And my daughter, my youngest daughter, who will be 23 this year, recently told me that she wants to follow my footsteps and be an entrepreneur.
That's
So
dope.
she has some things that she's working on. So that's fantastic. I'm sending shots out to her to stay encouraged and keep it going. And then my oldest daughter, who is a singer songwriter, but took the backstage to that slightly because she has two young babies and she's a great, excellent mom who's striving to continue to show them great excellence in parenting. So shouts out to them beautiful young ladies. I love you guys so much.
You got a 29-year-old. How you got a 29-year-old? You only 32. You been fucking since you were 3?
Black don't crack, okay? No, I'm just
Damn,
kidding.
okay.
I drink plenty of water.
That thing was popping at a young age.
She'll be 29 this year. She's not that yet.
Okay. I like to shout out my daughters as well. Starting from the very bottom of the list of next generation, my daughters Kyla, Peyton, and Amaya. Daddy, love you very much. We got to spend a lot more time together, but I love you very much. I'm proud of my daughters. My youngest daughter is a free spirit. She's a really fun type of person. My middle daughter is super focused, super mature, like very serious about who she is. She's about to be accepted into the National Honor Society. She was a track star last year, played basketball, like she did cheer, she did gymnastics. The baby is like awesome. And my oldest daughter, shout out to her, one of the toughest, most coolest kids in the world, super smart, super athletic, is a brown belt right now in karate.
Nice.
So she's almost deadly. But she's super cool, super awesome to go with it. To have gone through what these kids gone through, to still be awesome people in their young age, that really shows true. And shouts out to the mothers of my children. We haven't always had the best of times, but their mothers are very beautiful people. No matter what their status is, no matter what their levels are, shout out to my daughters, the mothers of my daughters, not my baby mamas, the mothers of my daughters. They're bringing these kids up in this world, and this is not an easy job to do. And I am a baby mama now because I got full sole custody of my oldest daughter. So not only is my dick good enough to be a baby daddy, but my shit's so good, I'm a baby mama. Shout out to me, shit. I guess happy Women's Month to me, shit.
Okay, girl.
Oh my God.
So moving up the ladder, shout out to my mom as usual, Alice. I love you, baby. You're the tip top at the top. And to also take it a step further, I want to shout out Rose Smith. Rose Smith, you were I promised them that I made them agree that we wouldn't cry, and I'm about to cry. You were one of the most influential people in my psyche. The strength of a woman I found in you. The fear of God was put in me by this woman. The type of person that when you were a little kid, you felt they were bigger than life. There was no man tougher. There was no mob figure. There was nobody that can beat this lady up. She can go out there and play football with Mean Joe Green with a house dress on and flip-flop slippers on. So that's how my mind made her bigger than life. So when it was time for her to depart and you know what I'm saying, make the transition, it was harder for me, I'll say, to lose that parent than it was to lose, you know what I'm saying, than it was to, because I felt closer to her than, you know what I'm saying, anybody in the world. Like my mom was always my mom, but my grandmother was like she trumped my mama. My mom was the ace of spades, grandma was the big joker. You feel me? And not only was she the big joker, she didn't have to kneel down to nobody. She was the top of the hierarchy of our family. She was the queen imperial. She was the one that everybody came to for advice. Everybody came to when they wanted to clear something about her. Everybody had to run shit through her because she was the one that you ran shit through. Then when she passed, it was like really rough for me to watch my mama mourn her, and I had to mourn her. And I don't know if I said this on the podcast, but in 2009, I lost her and had my first two children were born months apart right after she died. So that was a roller coaster that I'm still riding to this day. So I'm like, you two beautiful people have lost like your moms, and I want to know, how did you deal with that? Because when I had to deal with losing this woman was the biggest blow to who I was. Like the reason why I got daughters 6 months apart is because my mind was suffering and my relationships was suffering, and my ways about me and everything that I was doing was just going down the tubes because I was grieving and I didn't know it. Because before she passed, I was watching her fall apart piece by piece, and I didn't know how to process that. All I knew was just how to be there. And oh my God, she's in the emergency room. Or, oh my God, it was month after month where it was got to the point to where every night I laid down waiting for them to call us to tell us that she didn't make it through the night. So that mental space just left me all screwed up. And I want to help our chocolate gumbo listeners. I want to help the people who subscribe and comment and share, and want people to let people know that you don't have to grieve alone, and you got to recognize when you're grieving and know how to grieve. So how did y'all get through that? Because I still can't even, if losing a grandparent was that rough on me, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't imagine. You feel me? What
Well,
y'all
it's
going
been
through?
like 13 years for you.
Yeah. And it's still, the pain never changes, people. The pain never changes. You just learn to deal with it better and be stronger because you have that pain. Because I know that pain, but I don't know the pain of a direct parent because I never really had a dad. So I already was mourning him from a long time ago because he was invisible. And then, but how have y'all had to overcome the difficulties of, you know what I mean?
Well, for
Breathe.
me,
That's
I have lost two parents. My dad passed first so many years ago, decades ago, actually. And it took a slight toll on me. I was, maybe a few years after I got comfortable with it. However, at the same time, the effect of losing my mom has not been the same as the effect I had losing my dad. My mother was like really like a best friend of mine. I told her everything. So
It's funny how
it
people do that.
hasn't.
It's funny how people do that. Like some people are really close with their parents, and then some people are like far away. Like having a mom as a best friend, I couldn't imagine that because me and my mama don't talk at all about nothing.
Yeah, my mom lived with me before I moved away to California. She lived with me, and then after I left, she lived with my brother. But at the same time, she always had a place to go. We talked about everything under the sun. Even when I left, we talked to each other every day, and I got the opportunity to be with her when I moved back home about a year before she passed.
Mhm.
As far as dealing with it,
Have you
I
dealt?
don't
Have you,
even
like
think
RJ
I've
said, have you dealt with it?
actually. No, I don't know. I don't know. Like
Mhm.
I remember being at the funeral. I did not cry at all.
Mhm.
But and I was able to fix her hair, all of this stuff. I think you kind of get numb to the fact that like they gone. But
Mhm.
once those few days passes and time continue to go on, and it's going on the second year, and on May 2nd it'll be 2 years. The reality of it just you just facing it more, and then
Mhm.
everything is kind of still unfolding. But I will say that I probably was numb for that whole year. First
Mhm.
year I did some crazy stuff, and that's one thing I do notice. Like when you lose something close to you, you try to do everything to stay numb up from it. So I kept myself so busy in my social life, and
Mhm. Mhm.
mainly in my social life, and still working. But at the same time, I didn't want to face the reality of it, that she's gone.
You didn't want to feel it.
And
You didn't want to
I did
feel it.
not. And I still think that I might be in that zone. So I don't know. Like I have my moments. I do. And I've literally picked up the phone and called my mother this time last year, June of last year, when I was at a real estate conference. And I was so excited that I was doing this thing. I went to my phone and called my mother and
Just off
realized like
reflex.
she off of a reflex.
Mhm.
She
Mhm.
ain't here, and I broke down, and I have my moments, but I don't I think I'm still dealing with it.
Do you
It
think you like
hasn't
would
even
have
been 2 years
would have
yet.
been better off seeking like counseling right away, like right after? Do you think you would have wanted to seek counseling? Like, do you think that you still need to need grief counseling and grieving groups? They exist. I don't know how to get in contact with them, there are groups like AA, like Anonymous Alcoholics Anonymous. There are groups where people are grieving, and it's brothers, sisters, you know what I'm saying, husbands, wives, and they go to this group every, you know what I'm saying, so
I
often
don't know. I don't know.
to
One
to
day at a
to, to
time.
learn how to grieve in other people's experiences. You know what I mean, type of thing.
Yeah, it's one day at a time for me.
Hmm.
I just called my sister yesterday. I was in my kitchen.
Hmm.
And then I got a phone call from one of my business partners saying that this TikTok influencer who's managing this big TikTok influencer possibly wants my business to service their party, beauty,
Let's
fitness,
go.
bartending. And when I got off the phone with that, and I was just so excited, and then I just started crying. Like, I want to talk to my mama. And
Yeah.
I'm like, my friend told me he told me to talk to her out loud. So maybe I could do that. But then I called my sister and I was just like screaming at her, like, I want to talk to my mama.
Yeah.
And she was like, wow, what happened? What's wrong? You having a moment? I'm like, and I shared with her what happened. But we talked through it. And then I had a dream the night before. My mother came to my dream actually, and my sister was in it. And my mother said that she was happy in heaven. Like, literally. I thought that I was the
That's
only
what's
one
up.
could see her. So I saw her. Like, I thought it was real. Like, I saw her. And then my sister was like, hey, mom. I'm like, hey, mom, all excited, hugging and kissing. I was like, you see her too? And then I asked her how I was having, and she said, she loved it. And I was like, oh, okay. So I don't know if I need to go to counseling. I don't know what none of this stuff means. I'm taking one day at a time. This is how I'm dealing with it.
Moments
If I
come.
feel myself
Moments
getting worse,
come.
then I know what route to take. But how did you deal with your mom's passing?
Well, I'm still dealing with it.
Yeah.
It's never a done thing.
Mhm.
I just think it kind of knocked me to my knees.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I didn't even see it coming. But what I did learn through my experience is that this really talking to people that lost people that's
Mhm.
extremely close to them,
Mhm.
it doesn't matter how the hell it happens.
Mhm.
It don't matter, like, well, if you see it coming when because I seen my auntie pass away from cancer and really like deteriorate from in front of our eyes.
Mhm.
It didn't matter. It's still gut wrenching. You can try to prepare for it. It don't matter. It could be. It happened so like fast with us. It wasn't like a situation that she was dealing with what she was dealing with. She had diabetes. She was in the hospital. Nothing unusual she wasn't dealing with, but she had a heart attack.
Mm.
So it's like my situation. I'm performing, and at the moment I have an Apple Watch. So if anybody have Apple Watches, you get like text messages or phone calls. You can see what's going on the watch. So I'm singing. We're singing Purple Rain. So it's like the last song I'm doing this event. And I get a text, like my sister is texting us in this group message, and I can read the messages.
Mhm.
Just saying, "Mom just coded," ooh, ooh. And I'm singing this, and my heart dropped.
Jesus.
So it's like, whoa. And I'm just was with her earlier that day. Me and her was just talking. Hey, I was chilling with her before I went to this gig. It was like a Deerfield or something like that. So neither way, neither to get there to that story. The point of it is that every day it's a process. Every single day it's a process of just trying to get through it. You know what I'm saying? Kendra, I did have like my first year I completely I felt like I lost my mind. You know what I'm saying?
Because you had to operate like you wasn't fucked up.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to find something that felt good. So everything in life took a hit. If anything was questionable around me, anything, it took a hit. My wife took a hit.
Relationships, man. Relationships.
Because that's my wife. She's the closest thing to me. And I realized you don't realize what that parent is to you. Like my mom was my sense of I knew I could get comfort. I knew I could get the attention, the affection I need.
Nobody understands.
Nobody
you like your
understood me. But my wife wasn't necessarily like that. And then when my mom passed, all the pressure went to her.
And
what
you go through, they go through.
They go through. It just was a real rough time. But what I can say now is that I never thought I would be at this place after her passing. I never thought that I would be dealing with it like this, or moving on the way I'm moving on today.
It's a new journey you're going on. It's a whole new
journey, but I know she's with me all the time. And it's like, if I could say that to you, and Kendra's like, man, our parents, our grandparents, they're with us right now. They're with us in our skin, everything, every fabric of us, they're living in us. We can talk to them every day, and she's a part of my journey. And it's like, it's monumental times that you have, and we cross over and you'll break down. Because you're thinking like, I want to talk to him. I want to hug him. I want to tell him this. I got this situation. And they here. And I made 40. My mom wasn't here. So it's tough. But for everybody that's out here that lost a loved one.
Yeah, RJ.
You're not alone.
You're all right, brother.
You're
all right. You're all right. So in further news, we're going on. Yeah, people out here. Look, let me tell you something.
It's
Your
real.
journey begins every day when you wake up. You got to. That's why you wake up every day, thankful for what you have, thankful for what you've been through, and thank God that the God is going to be with you all your days, and you, no matter what you got to go through to get through them days. You're going to have God and the people that you have with you. If you can remember a smile, if you can remember a laugh, if you can remember the good times and the bad times and the times where shit wasn't right, you got them people, you got that with you all the time. It never changes. Okay. Current news. Let's go back. Let's touch on something that we talked about last week. Your boy, John Morant of the Memphis Grizzlies. He was at a Colorado strip club having fun, just a basketball player. This man got $100 million contracts, $100 million contracts, all these different deals on the table. And he is in the strip club doing what people in the strip club do, have fun. That's why strip clubs are allowed, because people go and they have fun and they kick it and they just, you know what I'm saying, live a fantasy with the little sexy stripper, get a lap dance, have you some drinks, and go home. That's what people do in strip clubs. That's why strip clubs are, it's not taboo, more like it's an accepted practice. Now, some strip clubs you go to get a little something extra, do a little something extra. This particular strip club, John Morant went and flashed a weapon, and he's in the NBA, and he's in Colorado on the road with the team. He was in there with some plug people. So it come to find out, Colorado, the state of Colorado was doing an investigation due to the gun laws. You cannot be intoxicated and have a gun, even though it's an open carry state. That's not caught up. Colorado has dropped the investigation because they looked over the footage and the man never had an alcoholic beverage.
Good.
He was just in there kicking it, having a good time, and I guess the gun was somebody else's. Okay, so he was suspended for a couple games by the league and the NBA and his team, and now he's out, according to the Memphis Grizzlies, for an indefinite period of time, and the playoffs is coming up. Okay,
Wait, you just said it wasn't his gun.
Yeah,
It was somebody else's gun?
The investigation is going on, but hopefully it wasn't his gun.
They dropped the investigation, from what I heard, and they also said he's doing counseling somewhere in Miami or Florida.
Of course. He has to start the recuper. He has to get out in front of this and get some. But what kind of counseling can you take for clout? Is he going through clout counseling?
Yeah,
because the man is already $100 million dude, $200 million dude.
I guess they looking at it, Damon, that he has a destructive mindset. I guess they looking at it like that when him trying to.
No, he don't.
I don't. We know he don't. We know what he's doing. We know he's okay, and he's just being
social
young.
media is a drug.
That's what the drug
and that's
is.
what he need to be.
All,
that's the drug. Showing off for TikTok, Instagram, social media, flashing money, flashing jewelry. It's the bling bling effect. Bling bling. Bling.
I'm gonna say this, Keith. In the era that we in today, though, and what's happening to these young cats, these rappers and stuff like that, and he's a young man with a lot of, like, they don't care about the stars like we cared about them. You know what I'm saying? Not being funny, like we might have hated on some cats.
Are you talking about stars, not just athletes?
Stars and athletes, period, or movie stars or whatever. We had
we wanted to be like Mike, bro.
We wanted to be like Mike, but we didn't want to like Marks. Like I said in one show, we did a couple of shows when we first started. We was talking about like Antoine Walker from Chicago. We heard a million stories about him getting robbed. And we from Chicago, so everybody know that he knows I'm telling the truth. We heard a million stories, but nobody in Shy wanted to kill Demar.
Right.
He just wanted to chain or mess with him or whatever. That was it. But now they killing the cats, and with him showing off guns, and you already got 100 and something million, 200 million. It's like
it's gun culture, RJ.
It is gun culture, but it ain't the same. That needs to be, like what they're doing. That's good that it's happening before something else worse happening. That's all I'm saying.
It's the social media. I'm gonna show you what I got so you can come and look at me. That counseling don't exist, bruh. And hold on. And all the rich rappers, all the rich influencers, all the people who are trying to like actually got it, they wouldn't be comfortable if they wasn't showing it off on social media, bro. I'm talking about there's been several scammers and people that would have got away with embezzling and all kind of money wiring fraud, would have got away with it if he wasn't flexing on social media. These motherfuckers in jail and lost airplanes and mansions and cars because you flexing on social media. Like, come on. Okay, I say that all the time. Like, I was so scared when I first saw people on social media pointing these big ass guns until I realized you point a gun at a phone. Real killers don't do that. It was the way I came up. You move quiet and talk and make a lot of noise. You don't show people what you're doing, but that's why I said there's no counseling for clout, bro.
Man, I heard the only time you show a gun is when you about to use it.
Yeah.
That's what thirst trapping is, bro.
Period.
All these
That's
girls
it.
on the internet popping their thing.
The internet, social media, period, is just the new age of everything. The internet is the new strip club. Like the strippers in the strip club for real probably ain't making as much money because they seeing it for free. On the internet.
OnlyFans.
You got your
Nah, they ain't
OnlyFans
and they friend.
page.
They getting paid off that.
OnlyFans.
Yeah,
Subscribe,
what?
subscribe,
On
subscribe.
the
In
fans,
person?
it's
Yes,
like
that's
it's
what I'm
like the
saying.
strip club in your house.
That's what I'm
in your
saying.
phone.
People ain't
Mhm,
probably really going
mhm,
to the real strip
mhm,
clubs no more
mhm.
because
You can open up
you
your
can
phone and go
subscribe.
to any porn page anywhere.
All of that, and then you getting it for free with the girls who just want to show
Could
their booties and
imagine that
bodies.
in the
and-
80s.
No,
Nah,
right?
we
Like
had
That would have been
we had
crazy.
nudie magazines.
If we had it in the 80s, we'd lost our mind. I ain't gonna
man,
lie.
it's a whole different world
It's
we
a whole
live
different
in
world.
today, y'all.
And then the gun culture is just going too far.
Everything. The social media, the internet, it's our new education as well. Like real talk, everything. Just a little bit off topic. Like, do you even think that we should still be paying for education? Because on social media, on all these platforms, you getting it for
You can
free.
learn TikTok teach you anything.
You TikTok, YouTube. You can learn how to do hair. You can learn how to be an electrician.
How-to videos.
Everything.
How-to
Like
videos.
I think
Do
there
it
should be an
yourself.
option for everything.
DIY.
So you can pay for education, but I mean that don't mean you have to.
yeah, absolutely. Y'all got it good. Y'all kids and people who's growing up in this day and age, y'all got it good.
We used
Like,
to have to
you
type
can learn the
an
internet.
essay.
The
We used to have to
world
write in cursive.
is in your hand. Okay, they ain't even teaching cursive anymore in the
Because
schools.
there's no point for it.
It was
That
pointless.
shows you.
It was
We-
pointless in the
we-
first place.
It really was pointless in the first place. We
Mhm.
was really doing some stuff that
Mhm.
was like generations too far behind us anyway.
Mhm.
But we were like just to know we were like the last generations
Mhm.
of learning this stuff.
Yeah,
because
but
that's
our
how
babies
all our
are even
grandparents
smarter
wrote.
than like even the kids.
They got
But if-
tablets at 2 years old. If you had a tablet when you was fucking 2, you'd be motherfucking good with that bitch by the time you was 4 too. Period. Point
Yeah.
blank.
I mean, it's just different.
It's a different, right? It's different. I think it's just we're gonna master whatever culture we're a part of. And
Yeah.
that's just what it is. You're right. If we would have had tablets, I'm thinking like in the 80s, if we'd have had like technology
We
then.
didn't have
Lord
it.
Jesus Christ,
We-
where we would be today.
Ooh, I wish.
If we could have went
God.
viral in the 90s.
Man,
Just think
Man.
about your wildest teenage mid-20s experiences, like the top 5 things you did
Could
in
you
your life
imagine
that was
Freak
wild.
Week?
back in Atlanta,
Going live,
or
going
Miami.
live, going live,
Live.
going live.
That
at
would have
Freak
been
Nick.
shut out. That would have been shut down. That would have never
Crazy.
lasted nowhere near as long.
Mm-mm.
It's just the culture, you
It's a
know.
different world.
And the gun culture, everybody getting shot, everybody shooting somebody, everybody picking up a gun to solve an issue.
That's
Now some issues might be worth solving like that because have you heard about the daycare owners that try to
No,
kill
no.
her?
Mm-mm.
Did you
Yeah.
did you tell
What
us
you
about
got?
this?
You got
story?
Yeah,
the facts.
so-
What are the facts?
So actually, it was this lady. Actually, her and her husband owned this daycare center. What I believe it was in DC or something. I'm not sure, Maryland. And the wife of the daycare center, one of the parents, the kids, her husband found out her husband was being molested because one
her
of
husband
her
was being
I'm
molested.
sorry.
Lord,
Thank you
that's
for
a
stopping me.
relationship.
found
Hey.
out her husband was molesting one of the kids
Oh,
by
hell no.
one of the parents coming in to speak with her, and after what she heard, she knew that this was true. Like, so after 20 years, she took a drink, tried to calm down, couldn't, went straight to her husband's job, confronted him. Words was passed. She shot him in the neck or in the thigh, and he didn't die, but she shot him, and now she's doing 4 years in jail for it. But how do you feel about that? Like, she literally in her interview, she said, "I just snapped."
Is she wrong or right?
It's not right to attempt to murder someone. We only have one life to live. However, when you're going through certain situations, to visualize as this owner who's people are entrusting you with their kids, and you and your husband, who talks about trying to figure out ways to prevent molestation and how we don't want to be a part of that and try to help kids. And then to know that your husband is doing it, and then to visualize him doing it to a kid.
But she snapped off of the raw accusation that the mother came in
she
with the
child.
The child told the mom,
yes.
And the mom told her, and she just was convinced.
After she approached her husband and addressed it, she knew he wanted. She just knew too, also, and she just shot him. Whatever he was saying back to her, it was confirmed. She know her husband. Obviously, it was true.
I don't know. I don't know how I would have handled that situation. I don't know. I don't know how I would.
That sounds like a lot. I'm gonna say this. We hear about women snapping off the husband that's doing something anyway. So if you break down the fact that it was so many factors as her being the wife, number one, as a business owner, then she looked like the predator because that's a part of her.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Then that's a kid that she probably loved, and she has a passion for kids.
Yes.
So now she's mad at somebody hurting her kids. Now she's mad at, now this is my husband. Now you betrayed me. You betrayed me. Just off being my husband, you betrayed me. You right? Now you're this predator too. Now I'm connected and I'm mad because I'm with a predator.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So all of those emotions I can see that can lead to her just losing her shit.
Actually was.
So what's the controversy though? What's the controversy?
Well, her plan was to kill him and her. Like she was gonna take her and him out.
How do you know that? Wow.
She's gonna take herself out?
She said it in the interview.
That's kind of weird. Now,
she said
why
she was
would
gonna
you take
kill
yourself?
because she was embarrassed.
I would be.
That's what she said. I wanted to kill him and myself. She literally said that in the interview. But that didn't happen. But I mean, I'm never gonna tell somebody it's okay to go take a gun and
so
shoot
how much
somebody,
time did they give her? She
got only 4 years for attempted murder. They gave her 4 years.
It could have been assault with deadly weapon though, because attempt murder I think come with long. I don't know.
They looked out for 4 years.
Yeah,
they definitely looked out for her. They didn't give her.
But the daycare is ruined.
No, that's done.
She can't do. I mean, she can't even probably.
She can't do anything with that.
Gonna be over with.
So I guess
That's crazy.
So what do the rape? I mean, I'm sorry, the rapist. Whatever.
They sue her.
They giving him the rape victim.
Are you talking about? You talking about the
guy,
husband?
What happened to the guy that actually did it? Did he do it? Was it an accusation?
No.
Did he get found guilty? Did somebody press charges?
Well, they're actually he has pleaded not guilty, but at the same time, the trial is scheduled for May. But they have charged him with 33.
He's not even in jail.
He just got a hole in his neck.
Yeah, he's right. He
a victim. Now he a victim now.
We'll see what he has to say. When
Speaking of
May,
shootings, I got a weird one. Reports are coming out of Virginia that a 6-year-old went to school, told the teacher he had a gun, and shot her.
What?
A 6-year-old student, a 6-year-old in Newport News brought a gun to school, and they said this 6-year-old been terrorizing the whole school. This 6-year-old been whipping other students with belts, pushing teachers, cussing teachers out. The 6-year-old choked a teacher till she couldn't breathe.
Stop.
Yes. The little bitty
not funny,
hands.
but are you serious?
A little bitty Chucky doll just attacking motherfuckers.
Stop it.
Shot this. Hold on. He's so young. He's so young. They can't even charge him.
Wait. So
he shot. Hold on.
Yes.
He shot the teacher.
Yes.
At
yes.
6.
6 years old.
Come on, kid.
Shot his teacher.
Listen.
Told him he had a gun in his. Told the bitch he had a gun in the bag.
Big keep my dog, y'all. I'm telling you.
She went to the office and said, "This motherfucker got a gun."
It sounds like he made the story up, y'all. I don't know, y'all. Y'all tell us if he made the story up.
Article,
where's the article?
I'm looking at the article. Y'all ain't got to worry about it. I'm looking at it. Google tell you everything. No.
6 years old and shot the teacher.
The boy that shot the teacher choked another student.
Oh, it came right up. Okay.
Fuck out of here, G. I ain't got to lie about this. I'm not this creative.
No, okay. You're pretty
2
creative.
days
He
before,
will not be charged. That's exactly what it said.
2 days before the shooting, the boy allegedly slammed the teacher's phone and broke it, according to the police.
Get out of here. Come on, man. That boy would get
This
his
is a predatory.
ass whooped,
This is a predatory 6-year-old that just threatening the teacher, talking about he gonna kill her and all this other shit.
Listen, man.
And actually shot her. And not going to jail.
They would have put me in jail because that boy would have got an ass whooping.
Newport, Virginia. Wow.
The kid would have got a whooper with a belt.
The shooter spent his entire recess with a gun in his pocket, a gun that was loaded and ready to fire, while lots of first graders was playing on the yard. And they said it was lucky
he was
that more
other kids. So if You telling me he could have shot other kids and nothing would have happened? Somebody got to go to jail.
This all other parents gonna go to jail.
The
So
parents-
who,
somebody gotta go.
who owns the gun? Like
Somebody,
parent-
who holds the kid?
But I don't know what the laws are there, but there are laws that if you are underage or the
But
person
listen,
who
I'ma say this.
committed is underage,
it's a
the
bunch of
parent
accidental shootings
is
with
supposed to
kids
get
that pick
charged.
up a gun and playing with it at the house. Don't know what a gun is, just fucking around with a gun and shoot themselves, shoot other people or whatever.
Yeah,
and
I
then
just
some
saw a
kids
story
go
like that.
into school with it in the backpack just for the look, but don't know how serious it is. This little predatory kid knew that this gun was loaded, knew what it can do,
This nigga knew how to shoot.
knew that he could bully people and intimidate people. He's got a history of this. Plus,
Somebody showed him that, and
Yeah, he
somebody
been going
is
to the
training
range.
this criminal.
at
some-
home.
Somebody is training this criminal
some
right now.
kids are predatory, man.
No,
they're
somebody's
predatory
training
kids.
him.
No,
At 6, bro.
some kids have a predatory nature to where they get a
But you
thrill off of
forgetting,
bullying
we going back to
and
the internet.
threatening.
At 6 with a gun though. With a
Bro,
gun?
some
The internet
kids-
might have taught them too.
some
Now, come
kids
on, we
are
ain't gonna. I
naturally
told y'all the
aggressive,
internet.
bro. We you talking about? We in Chicago, bro. We in Chicago.
And that's more reason
These
why I'm
are
saying
the
it.
Well, they
toughest,
ain't in
most
Chicago.
listen, but are the toughest, most mentally aggressive kids in the world. Going to school is a jungle. When we was in school, it was the tough crowd, the goofy crowd, and the kids that wasn't no punks. They just wasn't gangbangers. But we even had a hierarchy. We would be mean and pick on each other and joke and crack and cat on each other to the point to where somebody would be crying and we get in trouble, and it'll be 1 or 2 fights or somebody get jumped on if you wasn't gangbang. The gang culture was another thing, but it wasn't all about guns and shooting. This new era, 2023. Is all about the gun, the power
Listen,
of a gun.
Who
This
is
6-year-old,
creating these little monsters? Because listen, it got to be some kind of consequence. It got to be. Listen,
he's
you
too
got-
young to charge.
fuck that. You got to charge the you got to charge the
gotta do
parents.
something.
We got to
like-
charge the parents. I'm with that. It got to be, because when you bring a life in this world, you need to take the seriousness of really making sure that your kids at 6 not doing that. I could see maybe 16. I can see 14. Your kids get into so much shit, you might not be everywhere. But at 6, you telling me you can't control this at 6, it's a problem. Now, when you a teenager and your kids riding, I mean, we was all kind of shit at 14. Walking down the street, you had bikes, you was gone. But now at 6, you telling me you can't control your kids. I don't know, man.
RJ, this little boy has been threatening this teacher. They have a short history. This 6-year-old little kid
No,
took this
man.
lady's phone and slammed it on the ground and said, "Bitch, you're dead." Like,
Is this? Hold on. Okay. I gotta ask.
that was the joke part.
Is it? That was a joke? The
That
bitch
was
you
the-
dead?
That was the last part of the joke part. That was-
Okay,
that
okay.
was
Because
the
I was about to
that
ask,
was
is
the
this
right
anybody know where's this kid from? Where's this happening? What state is this?
Virginia, Newport
Virginia.
News. Newport News. The most hood is where Allen Iverson from, bro. Hood.
Oh, that's the hood.
Hood.
So it's definitely a black kid.
Well, white people is more hood than the black people. Like Newport News is rough, boy. And the man done got a gun and threatened the teacher, whooping other students with a belt, pushing and shoving, choked a teacher till she couldn't breathe with them little ass hands.
Who is letting this
Like,
little
how you
strong-ass
gonna let-
kid?
I can't.
Where is this kid coming from? Who is the parent?
Oh Lord.
We need some details about the parents of this kid. When you
Yeah.
got somebody, I just feel like even as a 6-year-old, that kid didn't deserve the news. Their parents did. They should have put their parents' name in the news
Man, I'm trying to
and say
tell
it's a 6-year-old. The parents of this little bastard going around doing this. This is
Oh,
crazy,
Lord.
man. Okay.
Let's
Well,
get to
Okay.
some gumbo, man, because this is shout out to everybody in Southern California. Look, y'all, these climate changes are extreme and they're happening. It has snowed and dried up every day for the last week in Chicago.
Mhm.
There's a big storms climbing up the East Coast and Southern California. It never rains in Southern California.
It's been raining.
And they tell me it's been snowing in Southern California, like heavy, big snowstorms in California. Southern California is suffering right now, and they got more extreme weather on the way. People's houses are collapsing. The weight of the snow is bearing down on all of Southern California. So pray for Southern California.
Man.
Wildfires in the summer. Extreme cold in the
I
winter.
think they waiting. I think it's California's just waiting on me to come there. Maybe
Yeah,
it'll
to heat it
calm
up, to heat it up,
So-
go heat up the whole West Coast, G.
Yeah, so because they don't have, it wouldn't have no snow and stuff when we, if we
But
come
just
out,
leave
move
me
out
some
there.
of your hats.
What,
So
you
when
wanna visit?
California,
You ain't
California
coming out
break
there?
off and
You
fall
want
into
to
the sea,
visit RJ?
I need
Or
some of
you
your
tryna
hats
leave?
because I like
I'm
your
trying
hats.
to move.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, what
snap.
I'm saying, when you move to California,
I'm just saying you ain't coming out there.
no, I'm gonna visit. I ain't gonna stay out there because that bitch gonna fall into the ocean. What I'm gonna tell
Man.
you to do is leave me some of your hats so I can remember you back. Like, that's a nice hat. Yeah, it's my boy RJ hat. He moved to California.
I love California. I love
I do too.
Arizona too.
I
Both of
lived
y'all
there
have been
for
getting- been-
6
yeah, I
years,
got you.
6.5 years. I love California. I was always scared of those earthquakes though.
Oh yeah.
You said something a finesse.
Yes,
finesse?
let's get into the little gumbo. This is a current topic, turn it into gumbo. Y'all ready? Okay, cool. Rapper Finesse 2 Times and his so popular relationship with Erica Banks ended. And Erica Banks is coming out with a tea about why their relationship ended. She's saying that she couldn't deal with some of his ways and some of his different things, that how he felt the relationship needed to operate, far as the woman and the man and what they needed to do and what he said they should do. Okay. The gumbo is, have you ever had somebody that had ways about them that were domineering on you and you couldn't handle it and it eventually broke y'all up? She said, Erica Banks said that when Finesse 2 Times gets up in the morning, I don't give a fuck if it's 5, 6, 7 in the morning, she got to get up. She can't sleep in. She got to, when I'm up, you get up. Get to cooking me some food. Get to cleaning up this house. You ain't just finna be laying around here all day. You finna get up and get to work. And not in so many words, that's just the way I interpreted it, but I can understand that if that was that, that's how that worked. Like, I could see how it didn't work out, is what I'm saying. So according to her, y'all can go Google it, but according to her, he had ways about his daily operating ways that would low-key the detriment to how they broke up, the detriment to their relationship. And I'll say this, under certain circumstances, if this is the understanding that y'all going into it with, you have to understand that whatever you did to get this person, whatever you did to show this person how much you like them, and as much as you changed yourself to be with this person, you're going to have to keep changing and keep those ways about you to keep this person and to keep this situation relevant. Because if you put yourself in an uncomfortable space to where they're comfortable and you're not, guess what? You're going to be stuck in that space for the duration. So if you're beginning to be unhappy and you don't stop doing what you need to be happy with, if you stop making you happy to make them happy, guess what? Your unhappiness does not matter, because as long as they get what they need, it won't even matter what you under. So shout out to Erica Banks and shout out to anybody who's in a black-hearted relationship, who's in a rough relationship, who's in a relationship where shit ain't going the way you going and ain't shit going your way. And you like, look, I need to take a step back. I need to find me. And that's what she did. So that's what it is. That's the tea. And if you with somebody rich, I don't care if you man or woman, whoever is the breadwinner, primary breadwinner, y'all have to have an understanding of what value you bring into the household. Like, if that person is the breadwinner and you say, look, for now, you can take the lead role. What do you need me to do? You need me to clean up. You need me to cook. If I had a woman who was a neurosurgeon, an astronaut, a doctor who was making over 200 bags and told me, look, baby, I don't need you to work. I need you to do these things. This is what I need you to do. You better understand that this woman just told me what she needed, and I'm going to get that for her no matter how I feel, no matter what I go and do after that. If she need me to do this, that, and the third, and she said, baby, I got us, don't worry about it. I'm going to do this, that, and the third, and I'm going to go find me some value to add. Even if I just stack up my money on my own and hold some value to myself, I'm gonna do that. But whatever this woman want, I'm gonna do it. Now, if that's not the situation, because these social media stars and these new rappers, all of y'all got status and money, so it fluctuates. So I'm not finna get off a plane. Just did 3. Okay, I don't know what Erica Banks does. I think Erica Banks makes music, but even if she's just a social media influencer or presence, she has a full list of things to do 7 days a week. So if Finesse 2 Times come off tour and then I come off a flight where I'm doing business meetings and shit, and I just get in last night on the red, I get in at 1 o'clock in the morning and you get up at 7:30, I'm not finna get up with you, bro. I just flew in. I've been making money. I made $100,000 this month. I need to rest like you. Nigga, you got this big ass crib. You been on tour fucking bitches. I'm not finna get up when you say get up to make you feel better. So that's just
That's
my
too
mind where that
controlling.
situation is. But that's
Too
not
controlling.
actually how it played out between Finesse 2 Times and Erica Banks. But both of these people got a high status. So two high status individual, they are gonna have a problem. So question to the other one. Period, point blank. I don't give a fuck how many times y'all on social media posting and holding hands and you buying her roses and all that. When it comes to the everyday functionality of a relationship, have y'all ever been through some shit like that? And what y'all think about that? Like, what do you think?
Not to that extreme. No. That's extremely controlling.
Get up when I get up. You can't sleep. You can't sleep in. I want my woman to sleep in.
Everybody ain't built like you, because there's a men out here built kind of different. Last night I was on somebody else's little live on Facebook, and they were talking about something similar in the relationship or whatever. Ain't no man finna clean and cook, and I ain't built like that, so I mean, hey, everybody got their right to be how they want to be, but everybody ain't built like that. It's glad to know that you are. However, I have dealt with a few men. One guy who he was just basically trying to be controlling in the manner of what I did, and I couldn't look to the left or the right.
What you mean?
To anybody else?
What you mean? You couldn't look to the left or right? What does that mean?
I found myself at times, like if I was out, I dated him for like a year. If I was out, he was super insecure to the point that I was being accused of everything.
Making eye contact with a nigga down.
When a guy pulled back, or if he looked at me, if he turned and looked at me and he see me looking back, like I got an earful. So
that's pimp rules right there. You got to look down at the ground.
And I found myself at one time, like in the grocery store, looking at the ground, and I was like, "Bitch,
that's some pimp shit right there."
If you don't get what the hell?" So I immediately left that alone. Like, I'm not finna allow this situation to go any further than today.
So he didn't tell you to look down, but if you didn't, he had a whole motherfucking attitude. I just
did not want to continue to hear what I was hearing, so I found myself trying not to make eye contact or look, and then I'm like, that's just ridiculous.
So if the waiter came and said, "Would you like some more water?" Yeah, nigga, we want some more water, nigga. He thought you was trying to flirt with every waiter, every coach check,
even
every
if
cashier.
I complimented somebody's vehicle, it was oh, you like his vehicle? You like him? Or I'm just like, what? Huh? So yeah, that was over and done with so fast.
What do you think about the Finesse 2 Times and Erica Banks situation, Kendra? You think that if you was with a powerful guy, and no matter how busy you are, you got to get up in the morning, and you got to get the cooking, and you got to get the fixing and cooking and finagling?
That
no matter how much money he got.
How long was they in the relationship?
I don't know.
Because it would not have lasted not too long after if I had to deal with something like that. If I had found myself first. Some women, they don't really know who they are and what they like, and they fall in love with people for different reasons, and not really knowing her value. So maybe she didn't know her value and her self-worth, where she allowed the situation to happen. And sometimes we mirror what we are as well. In a relationship, we end up with people that's similar to us when we don't know us ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So thank God it was time for her to do an identity switch.
If you had an ultra rich husband, you couldn't be a housewife. If you had an ultra rich husband, he said, "Baby, look, all I need you to do is take care of the crib. This your budget."
Yeah, if that's what I wanted to do, I'm not housewife.
If y'all had an understanding, is what you said.
That I do know. However, if he told me I did not have to work and we had an understanding, and he just wanted to make sure I provided him with some bills in the clean house, absolutely, why not?
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But you ain't finna tell me I can't sleep late or I can't. Like, that's what you're not gonna do. I'm my own person.
You gotta get up when I get up. You can't motherfucking sleep after I get up.
I don't have nothing on my agenda.
That shit crazy.
Baby, if you want some breakfast, give me a minute. I got you. Or I may get up and get it. But you ain't finna tell me every day I gotta do what you
every day. When I get up, you get up.
Come on.
I'm gonna say this.
You extra whack, bro. Say it.
No, I'm not about to. I'm not about to call him whack. I'm not about to call him whack at all. He probably clearly he been raised like that, and I'm not even mad at that, because sometimes it's a little deeper than him being controlling. It's kind of trying to have control of your environment, and it's deep. It's like maybe he feel like if somebody laying around and he up, it kind of is distracting. So
she ain't no child.
It don't matter.
It's people who lay up, bro. It's lazy husbands, lazy wives, lazy boyfriends, and lazy girlfriends. Let's get that out in the open. There are lazy people in relationships that do lay around and don't do shit, while one does all the fucking work and the other one don't do shit. There are relationships like that.
No, I'm not disagreeing, but he has every right to want to be in one. So he can set whatever fucking ground rules he want. She don't have to listen to it. But guess what? If she in his house, That's his house.
That's the R. Kelly argument, RJ.
That is, but that's still his crib. Y'all don't have to be here. Y'all. This is the thing with women. You don't have to take nobody's shit.
You don't have to.
You don't have to take nobody's shit. You choose to.
Yeah.
You go to your own fucking house. If you got your own stuff, you can be to your crib. Because the first time he would have said that, you would have had a problem with it. Guess what? You should have bossed up and be like, hey, you know I got my own crib.
And that's what
I'll be there.
Erica Banks got money, so she ain't got to be over there. Right?
And that's what she did. That's the biggest way you can get to a man like that. You going back and forth with him ain't gonna mean shit. You bossing up and be like, you know what?
Bye.
Thank you. I can lay in my crib.
He just
gave
y'all a gym. Did y'all just hear what he just said?
I see y'all on social media.
With that being said, to my man's right here, he has every right to set whatever standard. Because let me say this: y'all might like it, y'all might not like it, but some women need that. Some women need a man like that. Some women don't
need.
Yes, some women like
a domineering guy.
Yes,
prefer.
Some women
prefer.
Some women like that. Needed meaning they like that to feel like they
that's
like
their preference.
That's their preference.
Okay.
Yeah. No woman don't need nothing but they self and God.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is some women like a guy that take control like that.
Yeah.
Some women wants to be the one to take control. They need a guy that's more laid back. It's to everybody. So what I'm saying is you might have two cars, right? There you got a Mercedes-Benz and you got a Lexus. That's because I might be more Mercedes-Benz type person. That don't take the value away from the Lexus. You know what I'm saying? So it's about communication. We get in these relationships because you think that person is fine, their ass is big, they got money, all of this stuff. You got to get to know the person and see if y'all really fit outside of those things. Outside of the sex, and after that's great. Y'all got to see if y'all really compatible mentally.
Y'all
ways. Do y'all? Because sometimes like Keith might need somebody to get up with him, and it might not. He might say, "Hey, I need you to get up with me," not because he's trying to control your every move, but because, hey, I fucking get lazy and I don't need that. So if I need you in my life, I need you to get up with me, because if I see you laying down and you looking good, shit, my ass will get right back in the bed. It don't be all that.
Keith need a millionaire with good breath with grandkids. That's what I need. I need a sugar mama with a sugar baby that we can go trip and invest in Big Keith and make me a conglomerate.
Or have fun.
Seriously, RJ, I see what you're saying. Like, you have to know what you want. You have to know your limitations. You have to know what you can deal with and you can't deal with. But the beautiful thing about trial and error, the beautiful thing about experience in life is you don't even know what you want or don't want until you get what you want or don't want. And that's one thing I learned in my marriage or in my relationships, that I didn't know what I wanted or what I didn't want until I put myself fully committed in a situation where I wasn't what I wanted, or I was in a situation where I wasn't getting what I wanted. See, that's the thing people realize. There's no way people can make a fool out of you. Okay. There's no way you let people, you know what I'm saying? Nobody is taking advantage of you. You allowed them to take advantage of you. You were being who you were, and then you put yourself in that position to be lied to, cheated on, took advantage of, abused, or whatever the situation, whatever the case may be. What are you being, and then what are you getting? That's the two things that you have to always understand. And you don't know that until you get out here and get your heart broke. You don't know that until you fall in love and everything be perfect, except for one dumbass thing. This motherfucker want me to get up every motherfucking day when he get up. Nigga, I just got in at 3:00 in the morning. I'm not finna get up when you get up because you mad that I got in after you did. Ain't no fucking way.
Sometimes that's the 80-20 though. Because sometimes that's the fight. That's what we all fight. All of us in relationships, we fight that. Like, it be that one thing, you got your person, you love your wife, you know, she does everything, and it's just one little thing. And it's like, we want to control everything. Our human nature want everything to be the perfect way that we want for us. But you got to realize that it's working against you too. It's something that you doing that person really fucking don't like.
Then they ain't had said nothing about it because they love you.
They love you. They feel like, hey, you do everything else, but she bombing everything else. I hate the way she cooked cornbread,
like,
but shit, everything else is good.
Uncomfortable conversations.
We don't like to have them.
We should always try.
You gotta have them. You gotta have them.
Gotta have them.
The cliffhanger from last week is an uncomfortable conversation too, RJ.
Yes, it is.
The way you said it, you got to take the animals out of it. You got to take the pets and the fish and the dogs and cats out
What
of it.
you
Even
say?
though
Repeat it.
because he says that everything else gets unconditional love except for men. Men
Oh,
feel
yeah.
alone because we provide, we do everything. We got to be stronger. We got to be tougher. We got to be the provider. We got to be everything. Got to like when a team loses, the head coach and the quarterback take full responsibility, or the captain of the team say it's my fault. I didn't do it. The man always has to fall on the sword, but we get the love based on conditions instead of kids get unconditional love. Mothers, grandmothers, grandparents, sisters, nieces, brothers, everything get unconditional love except for when a man needs to be loved no matter what. Like, like that unconditional love died in the 50s and 40s and 70s, bro, with grandmama and Big Daddy and them. Because Big Daddy had all kind of other kids, and Big Mama knew about these other bitches, and she still loved that motherfucker.
That was
death.
not unconditional
That is
love.
unconditional love.
Listen,
what are you talking about?
That is unconditional love.
Okay, well,
Grandpa
it's
and
not-
grandmama's
well,
together
no,
for
because
65
let
years.
me tell you though,
And he been cheating on her for 40 of them 50,
let me
65
tell
years.
you though. Let me
Are you serious?
tell you what I see.
Lord, here we go.
Because in my mind, now that we're in 2023 and we're not in 1931 or whatever.
That was just I was just referencing that.
No. I'm right. I'm just referencing a year as well. But I'm about to make a point. My point is, you're absolutely right. You did have those wives back in the day where they knew their husbands was cheating and may have had other families or whatever the case may be, and gave what you call unconditional love. However, back in the day, a woman was basically taught to be with a man that's going to provide and take care of her,
no matter
right?
what.
No matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So because she was taught that and just was with this person it was for conditions in her mind, because he was the provider, he took care of her, and she had everything else she wanted. So those are conditions to me. It seems as though, okay, she gave unconditional love because she stayed, but she was not happy. She stayed because the condition of him taking care and providing,
and she was raised
for her family, which her parents told her to do. And now today, we're teaching our kids a little bit different.
INDEPEND.
We teaching our let me finish talking, sir. But absolutely, thank you for saying it, because that's exactly what I was going to do. And I'm not saying this is okay either. However, we are teaching our kids now to be independent, stay in the books, and don't mess with the boys. And that's because the parents back then did that and stayed with men because they was the breadwinner, taking care of the house. They ain't have to worry about money. They ain't have to worry about groceries. They ain't have to work. They ain't have to do none of that. But now, you have these women that's saying, I don't need no man. I'm independent. You know what I'm saying? And, I could provide for myself. But at the same time, it's going to always go back to that wanting unconditional love, because the times has changed where they are independent and they can provide for themselves. But now they don't want to wear the panties and the drawers. They just don't. They want that other person beside them to be able to give unconditional love. So I think now today, you may can find those women that's willing to give you love unconditionally. I know I'm one of the women that love with no conditions. I've been there, and I show examples of that. So I don't agree.
I don't think women is not gonna love you without no condition. I don't agree with that.
Don't say all.
Listen. Only
Just
person.
Don't say all.
I'm gonna be 100 with you. Could I be 100 with you?
I'm listening. My ears are open.
All right. Only person you as a woman that you're gonna love unconditionally is your son.
Okay. I mean,
only man that you're gonna love outside your father, it's your son.
So
your
why?
brothers will be questionable on some shit, and that's 100. And I got a sister, and I'm telling you, the only woman that loves me unconditionally is passed away. That's 100. So with that being said, even with her, she couldn't love me in the still full capacity that my wife can, because she's my mother. It's some stuff my wife gonna do to me, to my soul, that my mom can't never do, ain't never did. Right. You feel what I'm saying? But there's a condition that my mom has, this unconditional. My mama see me at my worst. I'm still her fucking son. It don't matter. And as a mother, you feel that way. You be pissed off. You can say you can feel whatever way you want to feel about your son. He's still your son. Don't matter. You could be pissed off. Let nobody else say some shit. You know what I'm saying? But when it's another dude, you ain't got them same. It's not the same. So you're not Only person, only woman. So that's how we feel. That's why men feel that way.
But
That's
so
why
you're
men
saying
feel.
you should be able to get away with shit. Like, what are you
Nobody
explain
said.
to me
Nobody.
why
Nobody
you're
said.
saying you're being loved with
With
conditions?
conditions, because it's conditions that I can provide. It's conditions, even with our kids, it's a condition that you got to be a certain father. If you're not living up to those conditions, if you're a father and you ain't with the mother and you ain't got no buku bread or whatever the fuck may be, whatever, or you wasn't on time and you wasn't really Johnny on the spot with your time and your effort and stuff like that, you got to deal with that. You got to deal with your kids because you wasn't there on that. You know what I'm saying? You got to deal with your family, your friends. As a man, we don't have those. We're not built to, oh, every time we hurt and we knock to our knees, we cry to another man. We don't have that. Women can do that. Y'all can get in groups. Y'all can cry to each other.
Y'all can too. Y'all don't
No,
do
we
that.
don't.
Y'all
We
don't get
don't
it.
do that. We
That's
not
because
even.
y'all pride or
It
something.
don't
Like,
matter.
I don't
It
know,
don't matter what
man.
it's because. It's just the nature of a man. It's just what it is. This is just how life is. This is how we've been bred. This is how your son will feel. He got you as his mother. On it, he don't feel he can have 40 women. You can ask your son, and I ain't trying to get nobody in trouble, but this is reality. He would feel that it would be never a woman that will love him in the way that you will love him. Never. That's 100.
I don't as my original point was cut off.
I cut you off.
Yeah, and then
I
told me
don't
not to
think-
cut you off after you
I
cut
don't
me
think
off,
I
cutting
cut
you
you
off,
off.
cutting me off, cut us off.
Keep it on a rampage today. I'm just saying, like,
unconditional love is such a broad spectrum topic. I do believe that my ex-wife loved me unconditionally. Okay, but there are situations where unconditional love comes with conditions. Unconditional love can't be cheated on. Unconditional love can't be lied to. Like, you have to cultivate that unconditional love. Unconditional love is not something that grows and goes and evolves without effort. You feel me? People, not RJ, but people throw around this term unconditional love like it's an automatic thing. No, you was in your mama's stomach for 9 motherfucking months, and she fed you through her belly button to your belly button, and then she shitted you out and took care of your ass for 7, 8, 9 years till you start doing it on your own, and watched you grow, watched you develop, know your weaknesses, know where you came from. When you meet a person in a relationship, you don't like we was talking about them older couples. They met at 14, 13 years old and was together forever after that. They grew in that relationship from kids to teenagers to young adults to mid-level adults to older adults to grandparents to great-grandparents till they died at 90. You feel me? So that's an evolution. When we meet people nowadays, you ain't meeting who they used to be. You meeting who they are right now. And that love and unconditional love, that shit starts as a little bitty seed, bro, that you planted, like you say, in the soil. And y'all plant that soil, and one is the soil, and one is the light, and one is the nutrients, and one is the pot. And then when is the time to this plant too big for this little ass pot? So put it in another pot. It's a growing, evolving thing. So once you get unconditional love, you might not even know you getting it, RJ. And you still being out here going through the regular things in a regular relationship, and you getting this unconditional love, and it is based on conditions, bro. It's based on if you being it's based on if you being faithful. You don't hold on. I'm not trying to get personal, but you don't think your wife love you unconditionally, bro, no matter what, dirty draws and all?
I think she loves me
Unconditionally with conditions. Right?
It wouldn't be. It can't be.
Okay,
that's
okay, RJ. If a woman was with her husband and she loved him and they was together and he fell sick and couldn't do nothing, whole body, neck down, not nobody in particular, just in general, two people in a relationship, and she loved him, he paralyzed from the neck down, and loved this man until he died. That wasn't unconditional love?
Yeah.
Okay, so if he badgered her, if he talked shit about her every day because he was depressed and suicidal and couldn't kill himself and cussed his motherfucking, called her fat, ugly dog, you fat bitch, I can't stand you, and she still took care of him till the day he died, that's unconditional love?
Yeah.
Okay, so if the same man cussed this woman out and she tried to take care of him, and he was so self-hating and so self-harming, and she couldn't take it no more and left, this handicapped motherfucker that she took care of hand and foot. That wasn't unconditional love.
Yeah.
No.
All right, you almost made
So
me
you
walk off
saying
this
that she-
motocking podcast.
So
You
she shouldn't
almost made me
leave.
walk off this
From his
podcast
behavior.
because that's bullshit. G.
No, let me
Period,
say,
point blank.
Let me say my point. I'm not saying she's supposed to take the fucking conditions. That's what you getting wrong. I'm not saying you're supposed to take nothing. You don't got to take shit from nobody. Don't get me twisted. That ain't what I'm saying. What I'm saying is it is a fucking condition. Don't act like it's not.
But
that's bullshit.
But a condition that should be.
The conditions have nothing to do with the unconditional love. Is what I'm
bullshit.
saying.
Okay,
Unconditional love.
Please define it, please, because this is a whole other
offered
topic.
freely.
Mhm.
It don't base it off what somebody does
Mhm.
in return.
Okay.
It doesn't change.
yes.
So
Okay.
listen. So God, when we talk about God, we talk about God's love is unconditional. Why are people drawn to God's love? Because when you do dumb shit, you know that love is there. When you forsake him, even though you know that love is there. When you or somebody commit a murder and they turn their life over to Christ, they feel like that love is there. That's because it's an unconditional love. It doesn't matter what you do, that love will stay there and constant. When something, we don't have that. We're not capable of that. The closest thing you got to that love is probably your parent and you or your child and you.
Well,
you're not capable of loving anybody like that. You're not. And if you tell me you are, you bullshitting me.
Okay, I'm not. Let me change. Let me change my stance slightly because now I see what you're saying. But then the cliffhanger should be stated differently. Then
Okay,
it's not just men not getting unconditional love. It's the problem with unconditional love. Period. To people, from people to person. Don't or you know what I'm saying? Not person to person, not person to parent or person, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like the love you get from a parent, you'll get from nobody else, or the love you get from God. Because if that's the case, then there's a lot of women who ain't getting no unconditional love. It's not just men not getting unconditional love. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
the point should change then, because there's a bunch of motherfuckers not getting everybody love. It's no such thing as unconditional love then when it comes to relationships. It's only unconditional love you're gonna get is from God and a parent.
Well,
that's what you're saying.
So,
That's what you're saying.
that goes
the point started off as men.
So there you
right.
go. I was gonna clear that up.
Not necessarily that we wanted to give unconditional love, because I can't say like men giving a woman unconditional love, because that's bullshit too.
Because y'all hold a lot of stuff in.
So I'm with that. That's bullshit. I'm gonna call bullshit what it is, because women are getting that from their men as well. But all I'm saying is, but men do feel alone on men issues when it's time like that. We don't have social groups. We're not eager to congregate and be like, oh, Keith, I'm gonna call Keith and sit up and cry on Keith's couch and eat. We ain't gonna do that. That's not man shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, even though it could be healthy and we probably should, that's not how we're built. We're not built that way. You know what I'm saying? So when we go through problems, we can't talk to our kids about it. We can't talk to our wives about it, because men are supposed to be problem solvers.
Talk to your wife about it.
You do talk. No.
Do you try?
No. I talk to my wife about it, but I'm saying as a man, you supposed to be the problem solver.
Yeah, it is a lot of weight on
women.
You guys.
Women can't think about what they want to eat half the time. So I'm gonna come to you with some more problems. You know what I'm saying? So I'm supposed to be the guy with the solution. When my wife come to me, she's supposed to feel like, hey, I could tell my husband this or that, and he gonna come up with a solution. We gonna think about it, because she gonna think about the problem. She gonna worry. She gonna do that, because that's what women do a lot of times. Yeah. But when you feel like you could have comfort in your husband and be like, man, baby, this is bothering me, woo woo, and he'd be like, man, you know what? Fuck it, rent a spoons. You know what I'm saying? Something crazy, or just come up with a crazy idea and turn that problem around. That's what we do. We're problem solvers. Keith is like that. You tell him a problem, he ain't gonna be like, oh my God, I don't know what we're gonna do. He gonna come up with a fucking solution. He ain't gonna sit up there and cry about
y'all got it harder than us. I get what you're saying.
So it's like
it's a lot of weight on the male.
We feel alone at times.
I think you go down to what type of woman you want. Fellas, what RJ is getting at in a nutshell, it's the type of woman you want. Do you want a woman, back to the finesse point, do you want a woman that just, look, baby, get out the way, let me do this. You can do hair, you can work from home, you can just clean up and cook and shop. I got this. I'm finna go get this bag. I need to do this and this. But when I'm here, I need you on this. We need to be on this cycle, because we gone a lot, but when we together, we need to be locked in. So I need you here, I need you there, I need you here, I need you there. Or do you need a woman as an equal? Do you need a general, a co-general? So, baby, look, you go do this. I got this. I'll see you in a minute. I'll be back. Then y'all work like that. Whoever get home, clean up first. You feel me? Period, point blank. When you get home before me, I'm gonna try to make sure that I got everything you need, because you got hair when you get home, and I gotta make sure you the house clean, food ready, and your music on, candles lit, your hair shit already. I'm gonna do that. I'm a caterer to my chick. And since I know I'm a caterer, since I don't need nobody following behind me, I need somebody that I can bounce off ideas off of, and they can bounce ideas off of me. I need an equal. I need somebody who will compliment me and I compliment them. I don't need to supplement. Or I can be a little sugar baby to a millionaire, rich, motherfucking white, Puerto Rican, black, older, younger, doctor, dentist, a business owner, a real estate agent, hairdresser, whatever you do, I can be there for you. And I'm gonna have my own value, my own bag, and my own thing. You feel me? I don't have to domineer on somebody. I never felt like I needed to domineer on a motherfucker, and they do what I say and march how I march. But there are men that need that to satisfy their manhood and their need to be a manly man and a macho guy. I'm so secure in my manhood, I don't need nobody following behind me like a fucking lost ass puppy that don't know what to fucking do till I tell him what the fuck to do. I need a motherfucker that I give $100 to. I turn around, she got $1,500. Baby, how the fuck you get $1,500? Shit. So that's what I'm talking about. And RJ is saying that the unconditional love comes along with whatever you need. You have to line it up. And we've been saying that since day one. Know what you need. People, know what you need. Do not be walking around here not knowing what you need for you. That's how everything starts.
And be realistic, because a lot of men like to act like Keith, like you just said, you just keeping it real. It was like, I want somebody that could match me. A lot of men really need that. And we think everybody think they John got it. Everybody think they're the big boss.
But they won't say it. They need it, but they won't say it.
And oh, I got it. You really don't got it. You really need her. And all my chess players, the queen can move anywhere on the board for a reason, player.
You can only move one spot at a time.
You can only move one spot. And it's about using that queen. Not using it like that, but using it's doors that y'all can open together. When I learned about marriage and just me and my wife, and how it's rooms that she can walk in much easier than me, and vice versa. But y'all can play that as a team. You know what I'm saying?
A quarterback and a head coach are the same person with two different positions. A quarterback got to actually get out there and do it and see it as it's happening. The head coach calls in the play, talks to the quarterback. Look, if they do this, we're going to do that. If they go this, we're going to do that. And one goes out and do it in the other. Now, in some relationships, like you and Keita, bro, both of y'all quarterbacks and head coaches. You feel me? Y'all pick which one you're going to be per the situation, per the setup. You can't go out there and do her job. But she asks you for some advice. Okay, look, babe, now I got to do this and that and that thing. What you think? Baby, look. You did this shit last time they tried to play you on this. This is what we do. You do that. When they do this, we do that. And if you need me, call me. I got you. That's she the quarterback, you the coach. And vice versa. Babe, I'm out here. These motherfuckers got me out here in Colorado, babe. And I ain't. Okay, look, RJ, calm down. This is what you do. I got this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Boom, boom, boom. When you do that, make sure you do this like this. And then I'm going to do that. And then we're going to boom. I mean, how the fuck are people in relationships if that's not the fucking play?
For sex and money, some of them, and then they mad when it ain't what they wanted to be in the end,
like,
and try to make it work with the wrong motherfucker. Like, for real, like the plays y'all just gave is how relationships should be built off of, for real. But we still learning in life.
You got either the woman that's too brave, that's capable, but out there too far and don't want to ask for help because she done said all this and talked so much shit that now she got to bag it up. And pride is a fucking two-headed monster that'll have you looking good, but it's just as much as you looking good, everything you fucking not doing is gonna be pulling you the fuck down. So if you need help, get help. If you're not sure, say, look, I'm not sure what this gonna do. Don't be like, no, I got it. It's good. Then when they blow up in your face, I don't know what happened. I know what happened. You wasn't keeping it real with yourself. And you out here with my motherfucking name, my motherfucking money, and fucking up fast and picking up speed. And I ain't supposed to say shit. If I say something, I'm petty. Bitch, fuck you.
Chocolate gumbo. Chocolate gumbo.
Hey,
You know
Trying
what?
to tell you.
You know what? You
diving
know what?
deep today.
You know what? We diving deep, man.
It
But
ain't over. It is not over.
we gotta
It's over,
end it,
G.
man. Because
Like, hey.
we gotta end it. But before we end it,
We done cried and laughed and hollered at each other. This episode, I almost walked off. We got a whole LLC. I almost quit.
We did
A
everything.
job that I created.
Don't quit the job. We still need. We're only 18 episodes in. We hope you're having a good time. We know it's always a treat just sitting up shooting the shit with everybody, man, talking about different subjects. And I got one more. This is a cliffhanger before we leave, man. Just to put it on your head for next episode.
Okay.
We want to talk about what is considered a healthy diet.
Mm.
You know, we want to mix it up. So we want to figure out, what are you doing out there? We getting on our health. Summer is coming up. You know what I'm saying? With spring is quickly approaching. And we already spring forward, right? We already turned the top.
It's time to get our summer bodies on.
It's time to get
Come on,
on.
What do you consider eating healthy? Like, if you can think of your 5 healthiest meals, we want you to leave them in the comments. And I got something that blew my mind, that blew her mind,
And I've learned a lot.
and it's gonna blow, because I don't even think we told RJ. Do you want?
I mean,
They don't tell me nothing.
The internet be teaching me.
It's not even the internet. It's certain things that you hear, you have to research. Always fact check the gumbo, chocolate gumbo. Please always fact check us, because we may be wrong, but a lot of times we right, and we're just summarizing what we took from what really happened.
Yes.
We're not changing anything. We're not adding anything. We're just taking our perspective and giving you that chocolate gumbo. So subscribe, comment, share. What are your 5 healthiest meals? What do you consider eating healthy? Like, what are your 5 top 3 healthiest meals? And I bet you it's something in there that's going to blow your mind.
And y'all visit our Instagrams and our Facebook pages, and also on our YouTube. When you comment, if you got something that y'all want us to talk about, leave that in our DMs and in our comments as well. So you can find us at Chocolate Gumbo the Podcast on Instagram and on Facebook. Send us some messages. Let us know what you want to hear that you ain't heard yet, and whatever opinions and things that you got.
People be DMing you on the target. You hooking up on company time.
Anyway,
hey, don't be
that ain't your business.
Don't be DMing no inappropriate stuff on the chocolate
No,
gumbo.
we talking about
privately.
like
It's
topics
nasty
or
as
whatever
you
it
like.
is that you want to talk about.
I don't give a
But
damn.
until then, y'all, hey, we out of here.
We got to do it, y'all.
Hey, thank y'all so much, chocolate gumbo, baby.
Hey,
Until next time, y'all. Y'all already know how we do it, y'all.
I enjoyed
Chocolate
y'all today.
gumbo.
Chocolate gumbo.
Don't forget to subscribe, y'all. Like and share, okay? We trying to grow.
Somebody looking good today. Speaking of chocolate gumbo, do you hear me?
Well, thank you, Keith. Thank you.
We actually are matching for the first time.
Hey, yeah,
We
Look,
matching.
we
We
got
did
on
not plan this out.
black,
It just so
gray.
happened.
You got some pop of color.
Women's Month. We
We're
love
gonna
you.
have Kendra put our wardrobe together on the episode. We're gonna start looking like little uniform going forward. Next time, y'all. We see y'all next week.
Big Keith, RJ, Mitchell, and Kendra.
Ow. Hey.